Okay. So good morning, everybody. It is August 12th, I think. It's Wednesday, and we have a very, very special guest speaker today. I'm not going to take up a lot of time, talking today, but I'm glad that you guys are here. We have Christy and we have Amy, and not sure if Mindy got on, but everyone was invited today. Barbie is very special to me. She was she was the first coach that I actually looked up to. So it's really amazing to be able to work one-on-one with her. Like I told you guys, we are pushing for 15 star together, which is really, really special and working together. So, and now we're in Hammer and Chisel together. So amazing. So I gave her a few topics because everybody had different ones, but I gave her a gist of some of the ones that I think is more popular to you guys. But let's start. I don't want to talk a lot. I'm going to introduce her. She's an 11th star in her first CBC, which is amazing. She has 5 CBCs. She's been in the top 10 twice. She's in the Millionaires Club, plus has 4 team members in the Millionaires Club. She's a 10,000 quarterly winner, and she's been elite ever since the program was established. And she's been a coach 8 years. So, amazing credentials. Please mute yourself, please. Mute. She has amazing credentials and a lot of information to offer us. So please write notes, listen up, and then if there's time at the end, we'll take questions. So Barbie, the floor is yours.
Let's do it. So who doesn't know? Some people don't know my story, right? Yes, raise your hand if you don't know my story. All right, I'm just gonna tell my story a little bit, maybe 10 minutes. And then I saw some of the questions that Becky sent me. And then I'm happy to stay as long as we need to kick some butt and to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. All right. So I grew up, my parents are from Ecuador. I was born in the US. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I've been asking myself, where did I get this drive? Why am I so driven to create a better life? And why do some people not? Why are they not driven? Why don't they believe in themselves? And what sets me apart? And what sets Becky apart? And what sets Christina apart? And I saw this video a few weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, with Amy Silverman, who's on our team. And even though she struggled with addiction, with alcohol and drugs, she said that she always had this unbelievable work ethic. And I was like, that's it. So even though she struggled, she had this crazy work ethic, and she's been able to apply that to coaching. So I asked that about myself. What is it about myself that has allowed me to succeed at the level that I've succeeded? And why am I the way that I am? And I realized that the answer is belief. I always believed that there was something much greater than the situation that I was in, even when I was 6 years old. So that's why I'm going back to that. And I think knowing about my past, which I don't really talk about. Usually I start my story when, I got divorced, my dad passed away, and then I realized that I had gained all this weight. And that's all true, but it goes way back. So I was 6 years old. My brother was diagnosed with cancer. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the doctors told my mother that there was nothing that could be done. We lived in South America. And so my mother, who I guess in this way had really set an amazing example, she refused to accept the verdict. I'm getting emotional already. And so she took my brother and she went to the United States and said, I'm going to find a solution. And talk about being a role model in that sense, right? So I was left behind in my aunt's house, and I felt like Cinderella, having to do the freaking chores and not having a mom and dad. And my dad was in the other house because, with Latino culture, it's like a dad can't be a good parent, it's the mother. And so I was like, my family was just like split apart. Even though my dad was in the same city, my mom decided that he couldn't take care of me. So I was put away, somewhere. And so it was only maybe 6 months or a year later, I was reunited with my mom and my brother. And I was the healthy one, and I was the smart one. And my brother, who was the sick one, pretty much got everything. All the attention, all the toys. If he wanted, you know, a VHS, remember back then, you know, the VHS were like $500, he got it. And I really felt like the stepchild, you know? And so I worked really, really hard in school to shine so that I can get attention that way. And it's no surprise now that my whole life I've been so driven by the need to be recognized, you know, and that carried on into Beachbody too. So growing up, my brother's okay now. We grew up on public assistance, on welfare, and there was such shame for me about being poor. My real name is Barbara Abad, so last name Abad, my maiden name. On top of that, we were on, you know, on public assistance, and so we used to get free lunch, right? And they used to give us these little cards. So the really poor kids had free lunch. The not so poor kids or medium poor kids had to pay 25 cents for lunch. And the wealthy kids, which nobody was wealthy in my neighborhood, paid 75 cents, right? So because my last name started with an A, my card was free because I was the poorest. And on top of that, my card was numbered 1 because of my last name. But for me, it was like, okay, Barbara Abad is like the poorest kid in the whole school. And for me, it was just so shameful. And it's such a kid thing. I mean, you know, I'm 41 years old. It sounds silly now. But in my mind of a child, I was just so like, oh my God. And I remember when my mom would go to the supermarket and I would go with her. And whenever it was time to pay, I would go outside and hide because I was so ashamed that she was paying with food stamps. And, you know, now I feel bad for my mom. So, and I'm not afraid of tears. It's just, you know, it just gets in the way of talking. Mm-hmm. And then we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and I really had no space. You know, my brother was the king, and he got the bedroom. We had a 1-bedroom apartment, so he got the bedroom and I had to sleep in the living room. If I wanted to do my work, if I wanted to go to sleep and people were in the living room, I couldn't go to sleep, or I had to sleep with the noise, and I had to go to the kitchen, and I didn't even have a closet. Like a closet to put my freaking clothes. I had half a closet. I know. So I used to have this dream all the time. You know how you have recurring dreams, like you missed school or you didn't do, you know, you forgot to go to class. Well, I used to have this recurring dream that there was an extra bedroom. I had this dream for years. And I was like, oh my God, so cool. I have my own room. And every time I would wake up and it was a dream. I didn't have my own bedroom. And I was so disappointed every single time. And I couldn't wait to be an adult. So I can, you know, I hear Christina, sometimes when I follow you on Facebook, I hear you saying, you know, creating a life by design. And I so wanted that. You know, I was a child. I was 6 years old. I wanted a life by design. I was gonna do something different. I couldn't wait to be an adult so I could have my own room, so that I can do my own things, so I could have my own closet, you know? And so the way out for me was through education. And I have to tell you, like, I feel like I had a good childhood, you know, despite everything, but it was really long at the same time because I couldn't wait to get the heck out, you know, and I love my mom, I love my brother, but when college came, I was like, yes, this is my ticket. When I left for college. And so I worked so hard because that was the only way. I didn't know network marketing existed, you know, or that it was even a possibility. So I became a great student and I graduated with 3.98 GPA, you know, honors. I mean, I just did everything that I could to feel special, to be recognized, and also to create a better life in the future. And so I got my PhD. I went on to get my PhD in French literature. Like, who does that? You know, and part of it was that I wanted to distance myself from my past, my history. And the way to do that was to do something that would really set me apart from everybody else. So when Beachbody came along and I started doing well, at first I was just a discount coach. I never really meant to have a business. But when I decided that I wanted to create a business and be successful with it, it totally satisfied that need. And Tony Robbins would call that the need for significance, the need to feel special, the need to feel important. Beachbody gave me that. And so I was able to shine, and I was so driven by that. And then, you know, I've evolved. I mean, personal development is so huge that now I'm not driven by the need to be significant. Now I really want to do this because I want to be the best leader that I can be. I want to contribute. I want to feel connection with my coaches, with my husband, with my dogs, you know, and I want to feel love and I want to contribute. And yeah, there is that part of me that still wants to feel significant, but that's not my main driver anymore. So that's my story really in a nutshell. But I think it's important to look back to where we came from, what's driving us. And when you look at what I've just told you, that brings me to tears every single time, it's not difficult. Yesterday it's not difficult to understand. Yesterday I had a call with a group of people that want to be Diamond. And this girl was, I don't know her, she was my coach's coach. And she was saying, you know, I look at you, Barbie, and I look at you, Ro, and you're no different than me, you know, but why have I been in the same spot over and over, you know, and she's not even Emerald. She doesn't even see the value in Shakeology. I'm like, I don't know, girl. You're not consistent. You just keep saying that you want things, but I can tell you the way I am, I follow through. I'm consistent. I say that I want something. I'm solution oriented and I go for it and I don't stop and I will do whatever it takes to get what I want. So either you shit or you get off the pot because you're just wasting your time. And if you sign up your husband, because she hasn't even signed up her husband because her husband doesn't believe in her. I'm like, if you sign up your husband and you've already signed up your daughter and you don't actually work the business, then you're just wasting your money. You know, and she wasn't hearing what she wanted to hear. I don't know what she wanted, some more support, but like, it's hard work. It takes hard work. It takes sacrifice to get what you want. So here I am. And that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
I love that, Barbie, because I actually was thinking back now to, you know, what you said about looking back. And I remember something just clicked in my head. My parents would always say, maybe not directly to me and my sister, but I always remember this line that each generation should be more successful than their parents, than the one before. And I always knew, regardless if I was shy or whatever, I always knew that I was going to make that happen. I didn't know how. I didn't know if it was going to be in construction, but I knew that was going to happen. And here it is.
And you don't have to know how. When I started as a coach, we didn't have tools. We didn't have systems. I didn't have a mentor. You have to have your why first, right? We talk about this why so much that sometimes it gets lost, but you have to know why you want it and you have to have conviction and you'll find a way. Like, this is part of the secret, the law of attraction, all that crap. It's true. Because once you have decided that you're going to make something happen, you're just going to find a way to make it happen. It's like you say, okay, you know, close your eyes and like think of red, you know, and then everything you see, oh my God, I just looked and it's a red car passing by and I see a red. So when you believe something and you've committed, your eyes and your brain and your heart, everything's going to look for ways to make it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've been saying that lately a lot to the newer coaches. Like, it's not enough to just participate in a group or get in like a push group, like the Bring the Bling, like the one you're doing. It's not enough to pay the $25 and be in a group. Like, you actually have to listen to the material and then apply. And I think that is oftentimes what people don't do. They think that because you're in there, it's just going to fall out of the sky. Like, you got to take action.
Right.
So based on that, I mean, how do you leverage that that story and that background into finding that person that you can recruit that will work the business and be a leader on your team and make it happen for you.
Right. I think, believe it or not, so I've been a coach for 8 years and I've had great success, right? But I really feel that it's only this year that I'm intentionally recruiting the kind of person that I actually want on my team. Because before it was just like I was putting myself out there. And sometimes I would attract people that I'm like, why are you so needy? Why are you so lazy? You know, I'll tell you a story, and this is all related. So yesterday, a woman writes to me and she says that she wants to get in shape. She's ready. She's so excited. She wants to do she's doing body beats, but she can't seem to get the results. I actually use Christina's questions about, Shakeology and really kind of getting to her health and, her eating habits and all that stuff. And then she comes back with Shakeology is too expensive, right? And I said, how much is that? She's eating half a pizza a day. And I said, how much is that pizza costing you, right? And our pizza and something else. I said, how much is that costing you per day? And she writes back, she's like, I'm eating half a pizza. It's bad, right? And what that told me, she didn't answer my question, how much it was costing her. What that told me from the whole conversation, and you haven't seen the whole conversation, was that she's not ready to change, that she wants to stick to her pizza and stick to the story that she can't afford Shakeology because she has 3 kids and she's a single mom. And you know what I decided? And maybe Carl Deichler would be against this because maybe, he would say, everyone matters and you really have to, I don't know what Carl would say, but I thought about that. But you know what I said to myself? This is not someone I want on my team. This is not someone that I want on my team because I want to work with people that are like myself, that are willing to do the work. If she had told me, you know what, I understand. I'm spending $10 a day on pizza and soda, but I'm looking for a solution. Can you help me? I don't know. I need to do something different, but I'm committed to make a change because I want to be there for my kids. And nothing in the conversation, and I was really trying to pull it out of her, told me that she was willing to do something different. And I said, you know what, whether she's a challenger or becomes a coach, my prediction is that she's going to be the person that will whine about the pizza and the soda and not getting the results and things not working for her. And I made the decision that I'm not really going to pursue her. And so I get to decide who I want to be on my team. One thing, and I think that I got this from Chalene Johnson. I haven't finished her Marketing Impact Academy, but I bought it and I did like 3 modules. And she had us do an exercise where we talked about where we listed all the qualities of our ideal client. And that's when I noticed that I was always attracting people that were very needy, people that looked up to me and thought that I was so motivating, so awesome, but they weren't like me. And so I started looking at my messaging. How am I putting myself out there on social media that I'm attracting these super needy people? That I'm a helper because I am a helper. I want to help people. I want to help people improve their life. I want to help them improve their thinking, their relationships. And so it was like almost like I was giving like free therapy. All these years I didn't even notice. And so now that I've done Katie Heifner's branding exercise, I highly recommend it, it's a blog post. You can just Google it, Katie Heifner branding exercise blog post. You're going to find it and really work on your avatar, right? Your ideal customer and coach. Once you decide who you're working with. So for example, for me, I'm working with women that are about 30 to 45. They could be single or married, but for me, it's more about qualities that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. That quality of belief that I've had as a child is what I want to attract. And you had that same quality too, Becky, right? And to me, that's important. So I don't want people that I'm going to have to convince or, talk off the ledge every single week. I want people who believe that they deserve a better life, who believe, see, that gives me goosebumps, who believe that it's out there and they just don't know what that thing is, because that was me and that's who I'm looking for. I'm not looking for clones of myself, but I'm looking for people that have those qualities. I'm looking for people who are hardworking like me, who have belief like me, who are willing to do the work like me, who are willing to grow like me. And they could be lawyers, they could be stay-at-home moms, they could be 32 years old, they could be 45 years old. So how do I create messages that are like that, right? That attract that person? Well, I'll find quotes. If you go to brainyquotes.com and you look up, success, or, I'll find quotes about hard work, about, having a work ethic. I'll find quotes about belief. When it comes to articles, I'm going to find articles that talk about productivity, about being successful and what being successful really means, about balance. So I also signed up for Sandy Krakowski's Facebook ads class. Give me a second, I'm super thirsty. And she was saying how video, for those of you who have like pages, that Facebook wants to compete with YouTube. And so the reason that people are not seeing your posts on your like page is because you're not posting enough videos. They want to be like the next YouTube. And so you should start posting more videos on your like page, right? And Sandy Krakowski said, go on like America's Funniest Videos. People love America's Funniest Videos. People love BuzzFeed. So I did that for 2 days. And guess what, you guys? I have a PhD. I know I'm smart, and I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying I don't like stupid shit, Like, I could post a little America's Funniest Home Video once or twice, but that's not, like, I'm too smart to be looking at stupid shit that people laugh at all the time, Like, that's not who I am. Who am I? I know that I'm smart. I know that I'm educated. I'm always up for learning, and I want things that are going to make me better. So I'm doing me. And so I go to YouTube every morning when I do my posts, I schedule my posts, and I look for videos that are going to help people become better versions of themselves. And, like yesterday, I posted a video, Les Brown video, 14-minute video on Les Brown about, reconditioning your mindset, because we're doing the Bring the Bling thing. And so, I thought about that. Great. You're in a diamond group. But what are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, I'm in this diamond group, but I can't actually be diamond, right? You need to listen to the things that you're telling yourself about yourself and change that story. I deserve this. Good things are going to happen to me. I expect to be diamond. I expect to be 15 star. I expect to be a double star diamond, whatever that thing is for you. And so I've begun posting things that are for my target market, for my ideal customer, on YouTube, instead of posting stupid little videos about America's Funniest Home stuff and things with pets and stuff like that, So it's working for me. I feel like in the past 6 months, I'm actually attracting people that I want to work with. And when we have Zoom calls, I'm like, oh my God, I like you, as opposed to like, oh my God, I can't believe I have a call with this girl and I have to help her get to diamond. And she's so lazy and I'm so tired of her excuses. And that's been my story for many years, And to be honest, part of me doesn't know how I freaking did it all these years. I must have done something right, but now I'm really intentional. And it's more enjoyable. It's not as difficult. And I see myself getting to my goal much faster and in a very methodical way.
Okay, guys. So I love that. So guys, first thing you need to do is when we get off this call is make a list of your qualities and find your ideal customer. I've been telling you this for a long time. Maybe Barbie said it, maybe it'll take hold.
Oh no, you're totally right. If you're not doing that, it's like you're throwing, you're throwing spaghetti on the wall and you're hoping that it sticks,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And if you don't know who you're talking to, when you know who you're talking to, it's like you're holding a magnet and they're a magnet and it's going to be like this. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be easier to find content. Seriously, look for Katie Hefner's blog post, and she tells you step by step, how to create your ideal customer and avatar, and you even come up with a picture. And once you have that, and it might take you months to really refine and understand who your ideal person is, then you're going to do the next step, which is not on Katie's thing, and you're going to create content for that person. What kinds of articles, what kinds of photographs, images, quotes. So yeah. Okay, next question.
Actually, I love that, Barbie. That was awesome.
Mm.
And I can tell you guys, as I find the second part, as you guys know, I'm doing the Tony Robbins Life Coach. And ever since I changed my mindset and been working on myself, it's like the positivity and what I'm posting and all that has just, the people that I've been attracting. And last month I sponsored 9. I've already sponsored 4 this month. And it's just the quality of these people that are coming in are different. They're different. They're like hardworking women. They're professionals. It's different. And there's another one that came out of the woodworks that was on Christy's call last night. That girl blew me off like 2 years ago. All of a sudden now she's back. And this is a hardworking girl. She's young, but she has a professional career. And now she's ready. And it's because it's the laws of attraction. It's what you put out into the universe. It's the positivity. It's the mindset and the posts all combined.
Yep.
Okay, the next thing was, let's spin off of this because this was one of the last things. But so you have a group of coaches on your team and some are mixed. Some say they want to work the business. Some don't. I have a lot of coaches in here in this group particular that are like, but how do I get them to do something? And how do I get them to work? And how do I convince them?
I almost choked. Have you ever has anyone ever had to convince you to work?
Never.
Has anyone ever had to drag you to do the work? Christina, did anyone have to beg you?
Hell no.
Not even in my construction career. I mean, until I stopped liking it. But even at the beginning, I was like there on it. Nobody ever had to convince me to work.
So even when I hated my job, I still did it morning from beginning to end the way I was supposed to.
Yeah.
One of the the answer is you cannot convince people. And one of the biggest mistakes, go ahead and mute yourself, Diana.
Got it.
One of the biggest mistakes that I made up until last year, I spent so much time trying to motivate people. So I was 11-star in my first business center. And when did it happen? It happened last year. I lost 4 diamonds. So I went back to 7-star. And I spent probably 6 to 8 months because the people that were diamond were like one coach away from diamond. So I'm like, you're one coach away from diamond. Like if you sign one person, you'll be back to diamond. But you know what? The flip side of that is that if you're one coach away from diamond and you don't freaking do the work to recruit one coach so that you can be back to diamond, then you're serious. Then you're obviously not serious about this business. But I didn't see that. I was so stuck on this idea that I had to freaking revive them. And you cannot revive the dead. The only thing that you can do is say, hey, if you haven't read the book, The Energy Bus, get that book called The Energy Bus. Don't buy the audio. The audio isn't that good. But you have to invite people on your bus. And they can get on the bus or they can not get on the bus. But your energy should be focused on the people that are doing the work. And there's a difference between saying you want something and actually doing something. So you only work with the people that want the work, that are doing the work. And the rest of the people, as Energy Bus says, you love on everyone. They can be part of your big, group on Facebook. But we know this. We've talked about this. I heard Christina talking about it, right? The 80-20 principle. But you give your time to the people who deserve your time. And then you do what? You recruit. You're always recruiting. You never stop recruiting. And you attract the people that are going to do the work. And you focus on them. And so now, like tomorrow, I'll be back to, I lost all these diamonds. And I finally stopped. And I started recruiting. And I just said, forget those other people because they're not doing the work. I'm not counting on other people anymore. And tomorrow or, next week, I should have my 11th star back. But I wish I would have known this sooner. But this is my journey. This is the experience that I've had to have, and I'm glad for all the lessons. And so now I just have to do the work, and I'm only focusing on, and then the 4 diamonds that I've been able to recuperate that bring me back to 11 star, they're all new people. They're all new people. None of them are the old people. And the old people are seeing what I'm doing and the energy of our team, and they're coming back, but guess what? I'm not counting on them. I'm loving on them, but I'm not counting on them. So your job, don't forget, is to recruit. It's to recruit. It's to recruit. It's to recruit. It's to recruit. Minimum 4 people a month. Minimum 4 people a month.
Well,
and if you're not doing that, then you don't, stop complaining about anything.
Amen. Well, everybody knows that I kind of went through the same situation and dropped from like 14 to 9, when I was in this big funk. And all I did was same thing, was beat myself up. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? It's me, it's me, it's me. And all it did was put me further into a hole.
Yep.
And then I didn't want to do this anymore because I was frustrated.
And right. And we talked about this, right? I was beating myself up and saying, maybe I'm not a good leader. Maybe you said it and I laughed, like maybe it was luck, right? Yeah. You got to the Millionaires Club by luck, right? It's ridiculous, but we allow ourselves these stories that, that just confirm these lies. So a book that I read is called The Power of Discipline, No Excuses. It's right there. The Power of Self-Discipline. It's right there. I've listened to the audio twice. I'm reading it for the 3rd time. And this was maybe 5 months ago, right? I don't want to be like some coaches that work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, right? Mm. But what I noticed was, and I got a big slap in the head, was that I wanted to produce diamonds, right? I wanted to reach 15 star. I wanted to reach, 10 star in my second business center. I wanted to do all these things. But I was thinking, what is the minimum amount of work that I need to do in order to achieve this goal? And I saw this video by chance. There are no coincidences, like you would say. Brian Tracy's the author. But Brigitte Linford, her YouTube, I don't even know what video it was, but she posted a video on YouTube that was talking about stop asking what's the minimum amount of work I have to do to hit Success Club. Because when you do that, you won't reach your goal. You must do whatever it takes. Stop asking what the minimum amount of work you have to do to reach Success Club. And I was like, that's right, Brigitte, that's right. And then I was like, wait a second, that's how I'm being. I'm asking, what's the minimum amount of work that I have to do so that I can reach 15 star? And Tony Robbins would ask, how's that working for you? And it wasn't working. Okay. Then, like a week or 2 later, I accepted Rochelle's offer to, or invitation to read The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. And he pretty much said the same thing. And he said, what's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people? Successful people, they don't like to do the things that unsuccessful people don't like either. Like certain things about our job do suck. Like I don't enjoy emails all day long, right? The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people do it anyway. And unsuccessful people, they're so stuck on having to like what they do, so that the hard work, the stuff that kind of sucks sometimes, they don't do it because they're so attached to their feeling of, oh, it has to feel good. And he basically also repeated the same principle. Self-discipline is doing what you have to do when you have to freaking do it. And that's when I had my wake-up call, where I saw that, yes, I'm making 7 figures, right? But what do I really want? I want to be the best version of myself. Do I want more money? Yeah, actually I do. Why not? Okay. But that's not the thing. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I remember asking Carl in a call, I won a call with Carl. And I said, money doesn't drive you. So what drives you? And he's like, no, it does drive me. He's like, it's a business. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. It's okay for money to be a motivator, So yes, even though I'm making 7 figures, I want to be the best version of myself. And if this opportunity, hear me out, guys, if this opportunity is offering you $30,000 a week, $50,000 a week, $70,000 a week, why not go for it? Right? If you don't have to kill yourself. And so what I realized was that I just needed to sit down and do the work, because what I wanted to say, hey, I'm, in my mind, right? Like, I'm making 7 figures. I create my own schedule. I'll work a little bit here. I'll go do my nails. I'll go do my hair. And then I'll go hang out with this, and I'll go walk my dogs. And I had no structure, but I thought I did. But when I read The Power of Self-Discipline, I'm like, okay, enough. I'm going to schedule my time. I'm going to work from 10 to 5, and I'm not going to sacrifice my family. I won't do calls. My last call of the day would be at 5 o'clock. And when did I start that? June, July, like 2.5 months ago. And already I cannot tell you the difference that I'm seeing in my business. And I have like 4 diamonds that are about to burst any second. Why? It wasn't because they changed. It's because I changed. And now I'm just doing the work that I need to be doing so that they can have the success. Duh. But again, it was my lesson to learn. So for you, ask yourself, are you asking yourself, what's the minimum amount of work that I have to do in order to be 5-star, 7-star, 10-star, 15-star, whatever your goal is, right? I saw one of my coaches ask in our group, what's the minimum amount of people that I have to talk to every day in order to sell 3 challenge packs? And I was like, oh man, you're a victim of the same thing that I was, right? That minimum mentality. But you can't ask that question, because if you say, okay, the minimum amount of people that you have to talk to is 20 people, like, you don't know if out of those 20 people, you're gonna have 3 people say yes. The better question, or not the question, the better attitude is, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to sell 5 challenge packs, or whatever that goal is. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to reach 5-star.
I love it. Mind shift.
Right?
Yes.
Again, you see, it's all personal development. It's all mind shift. It's all perspective. This business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. You add people to your network. You cultivate the relationships. You invite them to the opportunity, whether it's challenge group or the business. You follow up. You rinse and repeat. You practice your vital behaviors. That's all you do all day long, all day long, all day long. But if your mindset sucks, if your stories are negative and they're not working for you, this business is really hard and it's overwhelming. So you have to continually keep growing.
Agreed. And leave your ego at the door.
For reals.
Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody have? I think you covered everything. They had asked leadership best practices, but I think you covered.
I'm happy to answer anything.
Anybody have, Jeanette? Go ahead, Jeanette.
If you're only working 10 to 5, when are you having these conversations? When are you having the calls with the new coaches? Like, how do you keep it all together with these new coaches as they come in every month?
Say it again. It's super hard to hear you.
Keep up with all your new coaches as every month, if you're getting 5 to 10, what kind of relationship are you forming? Are you doing it individually or in a group?
Okay, so hold on a second. I'm gonna go get something for us to see. Wait a second. You know what? I can just hold on. Let me see. No, it's not here.
Do they have to earn your time? Like, do they have to hit Success Club to get that one-on-one call?
I have to tell you that I'm learning. And what I'm doing is finally working for me. Last year, I recruited 70 coaches, 70-something coaches, right? Which is fine. And which averages what? Like 5 times 12. Like, I was recruiting like 5 coaches a month. And I had 1 person hit diamond and maybe 1 of them hitting Success Club. So let's just say that I was doing a miserable job, okay? And this year, I was asked, when were we asked? I think in March, to present at Summit. And I was actually invited to present on getting coaches started right. And I declined because I was obviously not the right person for the job because I was doing a really shitty job.
Lynette, mute yourself, please.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry, Barbie.
I invested in, this is a long-winded answer, but I realized that, first of all, I didn't have a system to train my coaches, right? I was being lazy and I was just using the coach basics from the back office without personalizing it. And I was just doing it and posting it, and shame on me because that really hurt me, okay? And so I wasn't invested. First of all, that was the first problem. And so this year in January, I decided to invest in Eric Worre in the 4-day breakthrough. And I paid like $7,000 to have a 30-minute conversation with him about my business. It was like an hour-long conversation, maybe 30 minutes, I don't remember. And I saw that I needed a system that worked for me. And so I came up with this 1, 2, 3 training system, which I think I've given to Becky. I mean, I have no problem sharing it. It doesn't matter. Whatever system you use is fine. But it needed to be something that I felt good with. And so I created a system that I felt like I owned, right? That I was comfortable with. That was number 1. Number 2, every time I did a GSR, and I know what every other coach says, right? The GSR is the most important thing. And hey, little baby, stop crying. But if I was recruiting 10 coaches, right, per month, and every single person got a GSR call with me, that was a lot of hours, right? And so what I was doing, and I don't recommend this, was I was doing a GSR call with every single person. And then every week, because it was a 4-week training, I would do an individual call with that person, okay? Talk about like, okay, stop. So now what I'm doing, and this is working for me, is I've recorded the Getting Started Right call, okay, in a Zoom with, and in my Getting Started Right, you can do the Getting Started quick guide, whatever it is that you guys use on your team, but they have 2 things that they need to do, right? First of all, they have to read the requirements and understand the requirements, and it's explained in the GSR call what Success Club is, what Achieving Emerald is. They have to watch a video about signing up your spouse if you want to work the business. You know, it's a must to sign up your spouse. And we actually have an assignment of creating a 5-day clean eating challenge before the actual training begins, okay? And again, you guys do whatever it is that you do, but I'm just telling you that there was homework in the GSR call, okay? And then I asked them to get back to me with questions once they've watched the GSR. And when they get back to me, and the bonus homework in that is create a list of 15 people that you'd like to talk to about the business, and I will get on the phone with you to go over that list, okay? So I have a spreadsheet on my Google document, and just August 2015 coaches, and then Business Center, their name, did I welcome them into the group, did I send them a welcome letter? And so that's how I keep track of who I have, right? And then if I don't, I'll usually hear from people because that's what the directions say. Get back to me with questions, right? But if I don't hear back from them, I'll just check in and say, hey, I just wanted to touch base. Did you get a chance to do the video? If you're an excited coach, if I tell you in a very clear welcome letter, watch this video and do 1, 2, 3, and you I haven't gotten to watch the video, it's very clear where your commitment is and what your intentions are and what your work ethic is, right? So what I'm discovering is that the people that are actually like on it and they do everything, in the first 3 days, those are the people who deserve my time. And so I do, and another smart thing that I've done is if I have, let's say I have 3 coaches that signed up last week and they have had enough time, I'll send them a message, hey newbies, I just wanted to offer to schedule a call if you've watched the Getting Started video, and only if you've watched the Getting Started video, so that we can discuss and answer any questions. And so I'll do Zoom calls with a little group so that I don't have to do the 1 hour call, 1 hour call, 1 hour call. And in that first call, I introduced myself, and they usually know my story. And I said, Becky, tell us a little bit why you decided to become a coach, and, what you're hoping to get out of this. And so I do my GSR in my first call, but I only focus on that call on two things: getting to know them, getting an idea of what people want, right, out of the business. And it can change because I was a discount coach. And then answering the questions on how to run a clean eating group, about signing up their spouse. But I spent too many years being a parrot, repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. No wonder I got burnt out. And so now I'm just using my time more wisely. And so my time now on phone calls is spent with people that are doing the work, and the people that want to reach Diamond, if I see them engaged and doing the work, and I give them a homework assignment, then I will get on the phone with them. And again, I'll try to do it in groups of 2 or 3 so that they can benefit from each other. And so I don't get burnt out doing 50 million calls. And that's really, really working for me. Thank God, finally. And I think what happened back in 2012, that I got really, really burnt out because I tried to be everything for everyone, and I tried to give my time to anyone that asked for it. And so even my strong diamonds, right, and even star diamonds, I'm like, okay, well, I'll work with them. And every week we had a call. And I was so burnt out that what I did was not a good thing. I stopped doing calls altogether. And I wanted the results. I wanted to be, 15 star, 10 star, whatever. I wanted the income, but I didn't want to get on the phone with them. And that's my gift. Like, my gift is my mentorship. Some people have other kinds of gifts. They're awesome with groups and challenge groups and running. My gift is like really one-on-one with people and asking the right questions. And now that I'm finally doing that, I'm seeing amazing results. And I know that I'm on the right track.
Jeanette, I can tell you that I adopted a similar philosophy after I spoke to Shay. When coaches sign up, I have a checklist, like a bunch of steps they need to do. I actually borrowed her videos because I have not had time to recreate them, but I do not get on the phone with them until they're done watching that.
Yep.
And that shows me right then and there whether they're going to do this or not. If it's taking them a month to go through it, then I know there's a problem. And I'm not going to hound them. I had a girl that signed up last week, and I sent her the checklist right away. And one day, not even one day, that night, she said, done. And I messaged her in the morning. I'm like, were you kidding? Like, did you really go through that? She was like, nope, I finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then that girl deserves my attention. You can't forget it. You can't drag everybody along with you. You can't.
Mm-hmm. I can show you so many emails of people that are like, Barbie, I'm committed. I want to be a 6-figure earner, and I'm this and I'm that. And, all my life, and just talk the biggest talk. And then 1 month later, there's a little bump in the road, and they quit, And so I was just telling my team yesterday, I was part of this personal development program where, it was really like personal development, not business related. And we would say, from now on, I'm going to be like this in my relationships, whatever promises we were making. And the facilitator was such a jerk and would be like, we'll see what you do. We'll see what you do. I'm going to be 5-star. We'll see what you do. And that secretly, right? I'm not like that, in public, but secretly people say, Barbie, I'm going to be 2-star by the end of the year. And I'm really going to take this business and blow it up. And and in my mind, I just say, we'll see what you do, but I guess what I do say publicly to them is, great. You have all the tools. You have my support. Success is up to you. And that's really the same thing. We'll see what you do.
Yeah. Anybody else? We're coming into an hour. Anybody have any other questions?
I have one quick kind of logistical question. You mentioned, Barbie, about posting videos on your like page. I've heard a lot of talk about how the algorithms of Facebook kind of hide YouTube, like external YouTube links. So do you recommend using YouTube links? Like you said, you had something from Les Brown. Did you take a YouTube link and put it on your like page?
I do, and I'm not a like a like page expert. You know, I'm really just learning with Sandy Krakowski and stuff. So first of all, I do my own videos, and that's always best, right? Because you're uploading them from
Your phone.
not from YouTube. So I do that. But yes, I've also been sharing some videos from YouTube, and it's true what they say about the YouTube thing, but it's been working for me.
I mean, I guess if people are following you and they like the material, then why not? You're giving them something that they're looking for. Why not post it? Chris?
I just wanted to say on that, organic shares are 100% better than app shares, than YouTube links. My like page is actually gaining a lot of traction.
That's awesome.
And I will tell you guys this, and I'm going to post this in all of our groups. Stop doing those video collages with those 700 frames of you doing a different move. Nobody likes that shit. Stop.
I never look at them, right?
Do one move, do one part of a size video, talk to people on the videos about whatever. But organic shares stop when they see it. Whenever I see one of those collage things with 700 moves from the 21 Day Fix, I'm like, what the F is that? And I just skip right over it. Okay? Yes? All right.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's just confusing to the eye. It's too much going on.
I agree.
I know that with my like page, I'm neither a like page expert, but I do know what people come to my page for, and it's for fitness. It's for fitness. It's sometimes I throw in those motivational things where I'm like in your face, like stop making excuses. They actually like that. I don't know why, but they like that. And my fitness moves. Oh, and my food too. They like my food.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question to you guys? Barbie, I know you've been in the business for 8 years, but how, and I know it's with personal development, but what is it that you do for you not to lose your essence, you, who you are? You know, we get pulled in so many directions, and we try to satisfy so many people because we're trying to, I know that I'm trying to attract somebody like me, because you said this earlier, but what do you do not to lose your essence, who you are in the business?
What does that mean? Like, what would that mean for me to lose my essence?
Like somebody that wants you to be something that you're not.
Like what? What? I have control over who I am. What am I going to do? I'll give you an example. I understand your question. I'm not the girl who is going to be posting workout moves. Becky loves it. She's good at it. Sagi and I were watching you yesterday doing the slapping the bench, and we're like, oh my God, she's so cute. That's not me. That's not me. I don't want to be that. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, I might do it once in a blue moon, but I don't enjoy that. That's not who I am. Okay, another thing, right? Certain coaches will only make a video if they're all pretty, beautiful, their hair is made up, makeup. Girl, it's a freaking miracle that my hair is pulled back and I have a little makeup, okay?
Yeah, amen.
Go to my Facebook page and you're going to see, and I'm Sagi's wife, right? So some people are like, oh my God, don't you feel a lot of pressure to look good because you're his wife? I'm like, no, this is who I am, and he loves me for who I am, and this is part of my brand. So to me, like, your question is almost hard to understand because this is me. Like, who's telling me to be what? I'm not ex-coach. I don't want to be ex-coach. I'm me. And what does that mean, to be me? It means to be me, to do me, to attract the people that I want to attract, to do things my way.
Evelise, that's you're talking about that text that you sent me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What is it? What's your text?
Somebody said to her, oh, stop showing your abs so much, and why don't you put on a cocktail dress and makeup, and you'll sell more product like that. She's like, but that's not me. I'm like, do we hang out in cocktail dresses? I mean, this is what my hair looks like. Look.
It's like, I can't do makeup. I can't do fake eyelashes. It's not me. This is me every single day.
Hell no. That's just a lie.
But if it's the way you are, then great. But I love that the women on my call, they show up a freaking hot mess with their children hanging off them and they're messy and whatever, because that's that's who we are. So yeah, you're always, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, you know? And you just do you, and don't worry about what other people are doing.
That's what I said. I said, you're awesome, Evelise, the way you are. Just keep doing that. You've come a long way. You should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone's always going to have an opinion.
Yeah. Anybody else?
One more question.
Chris, do you want to say something? Anybody?
I just think this has been like one of the best calls ever. Every time Barbie's on a call, I feel like it's the best call ever. So I appreciate you, Barbie. If you guys don't know, I share this story often. She was the one that literally changed my whole business. My mind shifted after just a simple conversation in my car with her.
I remember.
Everything is mindset. Everything. I pride myself on the fact that I can control my emotions and my mind when it comes to this business. I will tell you guys that I'm not gonna get the 15-star bonus this quarter because I refuse to drag people that don't want to do this business.
Good for you. And that's integrity, and that's standing by your guns, sticking by your guns.
You have to work with those willing to work. You can't, first of all, you have to work. Number one, you have to put in the work. Number two, it's all about when you have this abundance mentality.
Yes.
I swear to you, Becky said since she started her life coach that she sponsored like 14 coaches, I think she's at now. Well, I haven't hit 14. I think I'm like 11.
Great.
I'm just like just this abundance mentality that yes, I'm gonna continue, and that's what you have to be. It's all about shifting that mindset to stop worrying about what that coach said she was gonna do a month ago and find people that are gonna put in the work. But you gotta do it too. You gotta do it too. You gotta recruit. You gotta have this abundance mentality.
Yeah.
The abundance mentality.
Remember, we were talking about blaming our coaches why they were doing this or not doing this. Your business cannot be dependent on anyone else but you. You are the one that controls everything. You want to be 15-star, then recruit enough people so that you can help them get to 15-star. And then if you have 4 people that they were so close and they were this and they were that and they didn't do it, too bad. Recruit more people. Focus on what you can control, and the biggest gift that you can give yourself is to give up blaming and to say, I'm in control. I'm in control.
Absolutely.
All you can do is give love to everyone, because that's what we should do as human beings, not just because we're in this business. And the ones that are doing the work, that have vision, that are setting goals and hitting them are the ones that you should be focused on, because that's the tribe that you're putting together that's going to take you to the promised land. Can I get
an amen?
And I just want to, before we close, I know when Barbie and I first spoke, actually I think it was before Summit, you gave me sent me a video from Eric Worre to watch that really it was off topic, but he mentioned how in this business you always have to be in recruiting mode, because people will fall out. You will, if you're not constantly recruited, your rank is going to be like this all the time. And you have to secure yourself by continuously bringing in people, never get your eye off the ball. And you have to be prepared for that. And I think that's what happened to me this year. I wasn't prepared for that. And when that happened, that things started to drop and people started to quit. And I was like, that was the first time I had experienced that to that magnitude, and it rocked me. It shook my confidence.
Me too.
It killed me.
Me too. And the thing is, I shared that video with you. I'm so glad you reached out, because I thought it was just me. And then you thought it was just you. And it's, when you think about it, I told Becky, this is a volunteer business, right? If just because you get to diamond doesn't mean that you're making tons of money, right? You might be making $200 a week. And it's not like your life depends on it for most people. So the longevity, I've been a coach for 8 years. Most people can't stick with anything for 8 years. So why would they stick to coaching for 8 years? And especially because it's purely on what what your efforts are.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you get to 15-star, it doesn't mean that you'll stay at 15-star. And that's why I told Becky, like, if we want this 15-star thing, let's go for 20, because we'll be 15-star one and then we might lose it to 14 or 13 or 12 or 10. I mean, it's so common. So if that's what we want, let's freaking solidify. And I wish I would have done that sooner. But again, everything's a lesson, right? Like, no regrets. No regrets.
20-star diamond, here we come.
Here we go.
When I said that once, everyone was like, what? That's a new rank?
What's the difference? What's the difference? Like, you know, if you're doing the work to attract the right people, what's the difference? Again, that's the shift in my mentality. Before it was like, oh my God, if this person does the work, then maybe this person. Now I'm like, no, I'm just going to freaking go for diamonds. Diamonds everywhere, in all the centers.
Yeah, exactly.
So say hello and goodbye to my little puppy.
Oh, so cute. Mine must be dying outside. I've left them out all this time. Well, Barbie, thank you so much for your time. It was an amazing call. I'm sure everybody got amazing takeaways. I took a bunch of notes.
Thank you so much. I love you girls. And this is always fun for me because it also, it reminds me how awesome I am. But I mean that, you know, like I realize how much I have to share. And, you know, we're so hard on ourselves, you know. We're always beating ourselves up. And then when I'm asked to share, I realize that I really do have so much to offer, which is what I ultimately want, right? I want to be able to contribute. So thank you for giving me that gift, you know, and I hope that I said something to help you, you know, grow and move in the right direction. And I love you, Christina, and I love you, Becky.
Thank you, Barbie. Thank you for everything. We love you too. Well, guys, that was a great one. I hope you got some tips. And oh yeah, let's take a picture.
Okay, that's right.
Everybody smile. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Remember that the call was great and you're gonna feel good for a little while, but go put in some work.
That's it.
Action. Intention. All right, guys. Thank you, Barbie. I'll see you later, Barbie.
In whatever, 3 hours. Bye.
Yeah, bye.